Let's be honest, your 20s can feel like a financial roller coaster. One minute you're celebrating your first proper paycheck, feeling like you're on top of the world. The next, you're staring at your bank account with only a few dollars left, wondering where it all went. It's a cycle that leaves so many people feeling stressed, confused, completely stuck. You see your mates posting pictures of holidays, new cars, and you can't help but think, what am I doing wrong? It feels like everyone else got a secret manual on how to handle money, and you were left out. You're working hard, but you're just treading water, living paycheck to paycheck with nothing to show for it at the end of the month. Most of us weren't taught how to manage money in school. We were taught about algebra, historical dates, but nobody sat us down and explained how to build a budget, what an ISA is, why compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. So, you end up learning through a series of painful and expensive mistakes. But I'm here to tell you something that will change your financial life forever if you let it sink in. The small, seemingly insignificant actions you take with your money today are the exact things that will build your future wealth. It's not about earning a massive salary right now. It's about building strong, simple habits that will serve you for the rest of your life. Think of it like this. You're not trying to build a mansion overnight. You're just laying the first few bricks, making sure the foundation is solid. Once that's in place, building the rest becomes so much easier than you could ever imagine. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. This is the real, unglamorous work that actually builds lasting wealth. It's about taking control, one small step at a time. By deciding to take action, you are choosing to break free from the cycle of financial stress. The person you will be in 10 years depends entirely on the choices you make today. So let's stop feeling lost and start building a plan. These 5 moves are your roadmap to leaving the paycheck-to-paycheck life behind for good and starting your journey toward financial freedom. The first step, and honestly the most important one, is to figure out where your money is actually going. This sounds ridiculously simple, but I guarantee it will be an eye-opening experience. Most people have a vague idea of their big expenses, but it's the little things that bleed your account dry without you even noticing. That morning coffee, the subscription you forgot you had, the takeaway you ordered because you were too tired to cook. You can't make a plan to change your financial situation if you don't have an accurate picture of what's happening right now. It's like trying to navigate a ship without a map. You're just drifting aimlessly. For 1 month, your mission is to track every single penny you spend, and I mean every single penny, from your rent down to that pack of chewing gum you bought at the corner shop. If you're old school like me, a simple notebook and a pen will do the trick just fine. Every time you spend money, write it down. If you prefer a modern approach, there are tons of apps out there that can help. Apps like Snoop or Emma can connect to your bank accounts and automatically categorize your spending for you. The tool you use doesn't matter. What matters is that you commit to doing it consistently for at least 30 days. Don't judge yourself or try to change your habits just yet. The goal for this first step is purely observation. At the end of the month, sit down and look at the numbers. This is your moment of truth. You might be shocked to see how much you're spending on things that don't really add value to your life. That $100 on lunches at work could have been an investment. That $50 on subscriptions you barely use could have gone into your savings. This exercise isn't about making you feel guilty, it's about empowering you with knowledge. You can't fix a leak until you find it, and tracking your spending is how you find every single leak in your financial boat. This clarity is the foundation for everything that comes next. Once you've tracked your spending for a full month, you'll have something incredibly valuable. Data, cold, hard facts. No more guessing, no more wondering. You now have a detailed report of your financial behavior, and with this information, you can start making conscious, intentional decisions instead of reacting. This is the point where you shift from passenger to driver. You can finally see the difference between needs and wants. Rent, essential groceries, utilities, transport to work, takeaways, nights out, new clothes, streaming services. Seeing this breakdown in black and white is the wake-up call. You might realize you're spending more on eating out than on your future, or that your daily coffee habit is costing you over $50 a month, which adds up to $600 a year. When you see that $600 figure, you can start thinking about what else you could do with that money. Start an emergency fund, make your first investment, or pay down a high-interest credit card. This isn't about cutting out all the fun, it's about being mindful of the trade-offs you're making. This newfound clarity also helps you spot your personal spending triggers, bored, stressed, or scrolling social media and seeing an influencer promoting a product. Understanding your own psychology is a huge part of mastering your money. Once you identify these triggers, you can create strategies to avoid them. If you impulse buy when you're feeling down, you can find a different free activity to lift your spirits. Go for a walk. Call a friend. It's about replacing expensive habits with ones better for your wallet and well-being. Ultimately, this process gives you a sense of control you may have never felt before. Financial anxiety often comes from feeling powerless. By tracking your money, you are taking back that power. You are looking the problem straight in the eye and saying, "I see you, and I'm going to deal with you." This is the first major victory in your financial journey. It proves you are capable of taking charge. With this confidence, you are ready to move on to the next step, building a safety net. Now that you know where your money is going, it's time to build your first line of defense against life's unexpected problems. I'm talking about a starter emergency fund. Life throws curveballs when you least expect it. Your car breaks down on the way to an important meeting, your boiler gives up the ghost in the middle of winter, you get an unexpected bill that you can't pay. For most people, these situations trigger a full-blown crisis. They put it on a credit card, or they borrow money from family and friends. Your goal is a small buffer that absorbs shocks. We're not talking about saving 6 months of living expenses just yet. Instead, aim for $500 to $1,000. Big enough for common emergencies, like a car repair or a new washing machine. Think of it as your financial shield. It stands between you and high-interest debt. So how do you build it? Go back to the spending report you created in step 1. Cancel streaming services you don't use. Make your coffee at home instead of buying it. Cook a few more meals each week rather than ordering takeaways. Funnel every bit into a separate savings account. Keep this money separate from your main current account. Automate the process. Set up a standing order to transfer a small amount, even $10 a week or $20 a week. Do it on payday so it's saved before you can spend it. You'll be amazed how quickly it adds up. Finding $500 might take a few months, and that's fine. The key is consistency. Once you hit the target, you'll feel a security you've never had. That peace of mind is priceless. The reward for your discipline and hard work. Once you start getting your finances in order and maybe even get a pay rise at work, you'll face a new and very sneaky enemy: lifestyle inflation. This is the tendency to increase your spending as your income grows. You get a $2,000 raise, and suddenly you think you can afford a more expensive car, a bigger flat, designer clothes. It feels like you deserve it. You've worked hard. So why not treat yourself? But here's the thing. This mindset keeps people trapped in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, even when they're earning a 6-figure salary. Their outgoings simply rise to meet their new income, leaving them with nothing extra to save or invest. I've seen this happen time and time again. A mate of mine got a big promotion at work, and within 6 months he had a brand new car on finance and had moved into a fancy apartment in the city center. On the surface, he looked incredibly successful. But behind the scenes, he was more stressed about money than ever before. His new lifestyle came with huge monthly payments, and he had no financial cushion left. He had fallen into the trap of trying to look rich instead of actually building wealth. Real wealth isn't about what you spend, it's about what you keep. It's the money you don't see that truly counts. The key to avoiding this trap is to make a conscious decision before you get a raise. Decide that a large portion of any new income will go directly towards your financial goals, not towards funding a more expensive lifestyle. For example, commit to a 50-50 rule. 50% of your raise can improve your lifestyle a little, but the other 50% must be automatically funneled into your savings, investments, debt repayment. This lets you enjoy some fruits of your labor while accelerating your journey to financial freedom. It's a balanced approach that keeps you motivated without sacrificing your future. Remember, the goal isn't to live like a monk forever, it's about being intentional with your money. As your income grows, you can upgrade slowly and mindfully. Before making a big purchase, ask if it aligns with your long-term goals. By keeping your lifestyle in check, you create a gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is where wealth is built. It's your secret weapon for getting ahead while everyone else is trying to keep up. The feeling of drowning in debt is one of the most stressful experiences a person can go through. It's a heavy weight that follows you everywhere. It affects your sleep, your relationships, and your mental health. Every time the phone rings, you worry it's a debt collector. Every letter that comes through the door fills you with dread. It can feel like a hole that's impossible to climb out of. But I'm here to tell you that it is possible. Breaking free from debt is not just about paying back the money. It's about reclaiming your life and your peace of mind. The first step towards this great escape is understanding the enemy you're up against. Not all debt is created equal. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt is typically money you borrow to buy an asset that will increase in value or generate income over time. A sensible mortgage on a property or a student loan for a degree that significantly increases your earning potential. Bad debt, on the other hand, is what we need to focus on. This is high-interest debt used to buy things that lose value or are consumed immediately. Credit card debt, payday loans, expensive car finance. These are the debts that can spiral out of control and keep you poor. The interest rates on bad debt are what make it so dangerous. A credit card with a 20% APR means if you have a $1,000 balance, you'll pay $200 in interest over a year if you only make the minimum payments. It's like trying to run up a down escalator. You're putting in a lot of effort just to stay in the same place. Payday loans are even worse, with interest rates that can be in the thousands of percent. These are financial traps designed to prey on people who are in a desperate situation. Understanding this is crucial. You need to get angry at this debt. See it for what it is, a thief that is stealing your future. This anger can be a powerful motivator. It can give you the fuel you need to fight back. Your mission is to get rid of this bad debt as quickly as possible. Once you've identified your bad debts and built up your starter emergency fund, it's time to go on the offensive. The most effective way to do this is the debt avalanche method. It involves listing all of your debts and paying close attention to the interest rate on each one. You continue to make the minimum payments on all of your debts, but you take every extra bit of money you can find and throw it at the debt with the highest interest rate. This is the debt that is costing you the most money, so it makes mathematical sense to get rid of it first. Let's say you have a credit card with a 22% interest rate, a personal loan at 10%, and a car loan at 6%. Make the minimum payments on the personal loan and make the minimum payments on the car loan. Then channel all your firepower, any money you freed up from your budget, towards that toxic credit card. You attack it with everything you've got until it's completely paid off. This requires focus and discipline, but the reward is immense. By eliminating your most expensive debt first, you save the most money on interest over the long run, which means you can become debt-free faster. Once that first high-interest debt is gone, you don't just relax. You take the entire amount you were paying towards it, the minimum payment plus all the extra money, and you avalanche it onto the debt with the next highest interest rate. In our example, that would be the personal loan at 10%. Because you're now attacking this second debt with a much larger monthly payment, you'll clear it much faster than you thought possible. This creates incredible momentum. You then repeat the process, rolling that even bigger payment onto the next debt until you are completely debt-free. It's a powerful system that turns your small victories into a landslide of progress. Throughout this process, it's vital that you stop taking on new bad debt. You can't bail water out of a boat while someone is still drilling holes in it. Cut up the credit cards if you have to. Commit to living within your means and saving up for purchases instead of financing them. But the feeling of making that final payment and being truly free from the burden of high-interest debt is 1,000 times better than any temporary thrill from a new purchase. It's a feeling of true freedom, and it's a goal worth fighting for. Now for the part that really builds your future wealth, investing. I know what you might be thinking. Investing? I'm broke. I've got nothing to invest. This is one of the biggest myths that holds people back. You invest to become rich. Compound growth is the secret. Start early with small amounts beats starting late with big amounts. Time is your single greatest asset as a young person. Money invested in your 20s has decades to grow. That long time horizon can turn tiny sums into a fortune. Quick example, 2 friends. Billy, Phil. Billy, $100 a month starting at 25. Phil, $200 a month starting at 35 to catch up. Both, 8% average annual return. Who has more at 65? It's not even close. Billy ends with over $300,000. Phil ends with around $225,000. Billy invested less but got more. More time equals compounding magic. How to start low-cost index fund. Don't try to pick the next big stock. Index funds hold tiny pieces of hundreds or thousands of large companies. S&P 500, FTSE 100. Instead of one horse, you're betting on the whole race. Long-term markets trend up. Owning a slice benefits you. Start with as little as $25 a month on platforms like Vanguard, Trading 212, automated on payday, just like your emergency fund. Use tax-efficient accounts, stocks and shares ISA, Roth IRA, that protects your gains from the taxman. Most important, leave it alone. Don't panic when it drops. Don't get greedy when it spikes. Keep investing consistently every month. Let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. You are planting seeds that will one day grow into a mighty forest. We've covered 5 huge money moves that can change your life. Track your spending to gain clarity, build a starter emergency fund to protect yourself, avoid lifestyle inflation to create a gap for wealth building, conquer your bad debt to free up your income. Start investing early to let compounding work its magic. It might seem like a lot to take in, but remember, you don't have to do it all at once. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your goal right now is simply to start. Pick one of these moves, whichever feels most urgent for you, and focus on that. You are going to make mistakes along the way. You'll overspend 1 month. You might dip into your emergency fund for something that wasn't a true emergency. You might get scared and sell your investments at the wrong time. That's okay. Everyone messes up. The key is not to let a single mistake derail your entire journey. Don't think, well, I've blown it now, I might as well give up. Just acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back on track the next day. This is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about progress, not perfection. You have the energy, the potential, and most importantly, the time to build an incredible financial future for yourself. It's not about being rich by next year. It's about finding the right direction and consistently moving forward, even if it's just by a few inches each day. The habits you build now will pay you dividends for the rest of your life. By taking control of your money, you are not just building wealth, you are buying yourself freedom. The freedom to choose a job you love, not just one you need for the money. The freedom to handle life's challenges without fear. The freedom to live life on your own terms. This is just the beginning of your financial education. These 5 moves are your foundation. Once you've mastered them, you can start to build on them. You can learn how to create a simple, effective budget that works for you without feeling restrictive. Keep learning, keep growing, and never forget that you are in control of your own financial destiny.